That's better. A little better, right? Yeah, a little better. Yeah. Now I understand. I was like, wow, that was a really mediocre entrance. But I just realized that you were just saying goodbye to Misha, which makes more sense.
I can literally imagine you guys are going, what the fuck is that place? Even my ankle. What is this?
It was a wonderful farewell for Misha. He was like, all right, ladies, we're like, okay, this is us, it's us.
We hear music. What the hell are you doing out here? Why are you?
Why are they playing Aerosmith?
That's blank. Where to phone it in, Spade?
Seriously, I was like, is that it? Yeah, we had this whole like little powwow backstage going, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little differently this time. Right. We're gonna dance, you're gonna intro you in before the music starts playing. So they did the way you just come on, we can do that.
Okay,
yeah, great, no problem. All of a sudden, okay, I guess that's us.
Doing none of this, not doing none of this.
So anyway, we're talking down there backstage, and he says his whole thing, and I was like, okay, great, that's fine. I looked at Jared and I'm like, hey, that's the music. I heard somebody talking. And now there's music.
You know what, Jared?
What are we doing backstage?
Jared, now I understand you. I get it now.
Nobody understands Jared.
Nobody.
He's an enigma.
Listen, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how it happened. Yes, you dropped the ball. That's okay. You can do that. It's your show.
The ball will be dropped.
Well, there you go.
Because you were holding out here.
It's all material.
Sorry.
You know, before this gets that way, I'm going to get off the stage. But before I do, allow me to say this. Good people of the UK and surrounding European countries, please. Jensen and Jared Padalecki.
Okay, don't worry, citizens of the United Kingdom. I just told Spain, the UK is not European.
Oh, Christ! I didn't want to remind him of Brexit.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon?
However, there are countries, European countries, that do surround the UK. And he said UK as surrounding European countries.
That's fair.
Thank you, Jensen. Thank you.
I don't think they surround so much as border, partially. Hi, Birmingham. Shame. Birmingham. That was good, man. Oh, you're terrible. As a matter of fact, you're terrible. I'm jet lagged. I had a few. Anybody else come recently from far away?
Yes. Jet lag.
There's a bit of that. Every now and then you get this nauseous, like, what am I doing awake? Oh, that's right. Okay, 10 minutes later, so happy to be here. Hi, guys. For those who haven't caught up on our show yet, as far as yesterday's episode? No, shut your ears. Shut your door. There may be some spoilers.
Oh, there will be some spoilers.
Who's cheering?
Remind me what the spoilers are. Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
That's right.
That's it. Lord. This is the first time I've ever had a concession stand. I feel like awesome. I want to see like halfway through the panel, someone were like, well, I need some Cheetos. High fruit and bar. I'm glad y'all are here. I'd be there right now if I could. I'm going to see some pasties. What about pasties?
Pasties. Pasties.
Pasties?
Pasties.
Now I like your
That's What's that? Breads? I like. Now I know all these years, so I do this funny thing when I'm in foreign countries where I feel like I'm trying to assimilate a little bit. And I got myself in trouble. I'm certain that I've been in the UK and been like, I'll have your sausage pasty, please. You kind of got this look like. Sausage roll? I would never say sausage roll. So when I'm wearing my fanny pack,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, continue.
We're told, by the way, they're like, don't call them fanny packs. Call them bum bags. It's like, are they older? Like, we call them colostomy bags. I hope that we all are eating. Sorry, this is what she said. I just realized what I'm saying.
So it's a bum bag?
Apparently, I hear it.
Well, what else are you going to carry your sun cream?
Well, I put my fanny pack.
No, you would put sunscreen. But here they call it sun cream.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Learned that this morning.
We had an entire discussion.
You're having a coffee and some guy's like, excuse me, where can I get you sun cream? I was like, who? I'm good, I'll need a coffee. But what happens if your sun cream comes in an aerosol can?
Sunscreen. It sounds like a nice,
Very civilized. It makes complete sense. We call it sunscreen. It's not a screen at all.
Screens the sun.
It screens the sun.
Block would be.
Let's
get back to the bum bag.
Translucent.
So you've got sun cream and pasties in there.
Yeah. Got my fanny pack.
And it's just right above your sausage roll. You've got the green. I'm just trying to get the terminology. So that I don't look as bad as you generally do when trying to assimilate.
That's impossible.
What are some of your other assimilation downfalls?
Is anybody Italian in here?
Anybody Italians in there?
So I went to an Italian restaurant and I didn't really speak fluent Italian, nor do I currently. And the woman comes by and asks very clearly, like, how are you enjoying the food? And in Texas, like, when you have good barbecue, you're like, And so she's like, how's the food? And I go, and she kind of gives me this look like, leaves, and I was like, I told her I liked it.
First of all, never have I seen you or anybody that we know do this after eating barbecue.
And you're hanging out in the wrong circles.
Or maybe I'm not.
New circles.
I will say that I do have a similar story. My first trip to England years ago. I believe I was with Mans. I was with Jason, and we went to a pub, and I ordered 2 beers, like we do in America, which apparently is the sign for victory. And luckily, the bartender quickly asked, "You American?" I was like, "Yeah. How about the beers, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, coming right up." So, learned that one quick. I was like, wow, he was kind of addicted. He was a bit of a sausage roll.
I will say this, for those who know American hand slang, is that what she was calling it? So Shep the other day, literally 2 days ago, or the day we flew out from Austin, Shep was really excited. He called a roly-poly. And he said, Daddy, I caught a roly-poly. And Jen was there, and I was like, that's cool, kiddo. I was like signing something, whatever it was. And I was like, how many roly-polies you catch? He goes, 1. And I hear Jen laugh. So Shep's here, and Genevieve's here. And I hear Jen laugh. I'm like, oh, cool. What are you laughing at? And she's like, look at your son. And Shep's like, I caught 1 roly-poly. Cool, kid. Let's use this sticker. So, right, he's a Pokemon. Kindred spirits. All right, before we...
If Adam were to somehow get out the cage, would he be super vengeful, like the next main antagonist?
Man, I don't know. Well, first off, I love Jake.
Personally say I'd
Y'all
love
met
to
Jake?
have Jake back on the show because he's a great
He's a
guy
great dude.
and a great actor and somebody we really enjoy working with. That being said, as far as from the character standpoint, I think he'd be pretty upset. I would
Said he
be.
would.
I think he'd be pissed / relieved at no longer being in cage.
Yeah.
No, Is there an episode?
Yeah, maybe he'd be angry. However, he's messed with the Winchester brothers before.
It is a Winchester
And look
brother.
where he ended up. He knows he. So I'm just saying, you know,
I think it's a gang league.
once bitten, twice
Skinny.
bitten.
I was like, yes, he's eating a while. He'd be skinny. You heard that, of course, a gang league. He'd be very thin. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Yeah, hopefully he'd be happy. But he'd probably be happy. Hi.
I just wanted to know, what do you think your most similar like character trait is compared to your personality?
My hair.
I don't know if that's true, because that kind of has a personality of its own.
Just like Zane's hair. I will say this. So, Jensen laughs at me sometimes. But
Only sometimes?
Jared doesn't usually speak in the third person, but will. Jared reads instruction booklets. So I'm very much sort of I want to research something. If I get into something, I sort of want to know every single possible thing about it. I think Sam is very similar. He wants to pour into the lore. He wants to read all the books he can. He wants to scour the Miller's bunker to learn as much as possible about whatever he's about to. It's the classic archetypes of the Han Solo, the Winchester, guns first, shoot from the head, and the Luke Skywalker who's like, wait, I need to study, I need to become a master, I need to do this and that. Either's right or wrong, but I think it's something I share with Sam.
Love for baked desserts. Whereas Jared and Sam read instruction manuals, Jensen and Dean generally just fix everything with a can of WD-40 and a roll of duct tape.
Hell yeah!
Do they even have WD-40 here? Yes! I don't know, maybe you call it W974. It's like the same formula, but and you carry it in your butt bag or whatever.
We don't know what the exchange rate is from, it's like 40 as well, kilometers. What is kilometers? It's stone?
Celsius.
WD2 stone 10.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly a lot of things that I do have in common with the character, and things that I don't. But yes, his love for baked desserts and his love for good music, I think, is certainly a couple of those things. Right on schedule.
So where's the any time?
Oh, wow. come on, that's our cue, that's our cue. It's Aerosmith.
Just a little clarification.
Bonsoir. Are you from France?
Yeah.
Thank God. Because we were saying bonjour and bonsoir.
Because she said bonjour at the very beginning.
I did. So my question was,
We're going to blame the jet lag.
Always thinking this guy.
my question was there any time during the show where you read the script and was like, why would you do that to your character?
Yes.
A lot.
I'm gonna laugh first because you're so wonderfully patient that like 3 times she's like, my question is, and then we're being idiots. My question is, idiots. My question is, we're being idiots. She goes, okay, my question was. All right, so here's the question was. We have a wonderful grasp of the English language. Those things happen, that happens a lot. And in a funny, weird way, I am actually, and I kind of touched on this earlier in my meet and greet, I find a lot of joy in that Sam does things. I have similarities with Sam, Ackles has similarities with Dean, but I find a lot of, it's a fun life we get to live, where we get to wholeheartedly dedicate ourselves and give ourselves over to another mindset or to something that we think we wouldn't do. But then again, you know, Jared has done things that Jared didn't think he would do. Going back to third person, sorry. So it's almost freeing to be able to explore a side of yourself. And I think, not to speak of our talent, but I think if you're acting properly, you're learning something from the characters you play. You're picking up on things because you get to explore something and say like, oh, well, God, this is what I would do. And you do it, and you do it for 3 or 4 hours because it takes that one fun scene. You start going like, oh my God, okay, I guess I was, all right, I guess I was wrong on this. And you get to learn, I think if you're living life correctly, you're learning something every day. And I get to learn from Sam, I get to learn from Dean, I get to teach Jensen some stuff. So yes, but it happens constantly. I love Leanne. I don't think Sam would have lived with Amelia.
Yeah, I think that doing what we do for a living, you know, we're hired to portray these characters and to bring to life what is on the page. And sometimes that can be challenging because it might challenge what you think about the character. And I will say that you know, our writers they're great, and they have been great throughout the years, and they continue to be great now. And sometimes they challenge us, and we accept the challenge, and sometimes we get challenged and challenge them back. And say, you know, I just don't think that this is something that makes sense for a character that I've played now for 13 years. And 9 times out of 10, they get it, and they're like, absolutely, let's find a happy medium, or let's go with your idea, or let's find a way to fix it. Sometimes they're like, no, we really want you to try this, and we want to take this moment or this scene a certain way because of what's coming down the line. And then it becomes challenging, and then it's fun. It's all of a sudden we got to figure out a way to, you know, get this round peg into a square hole, and it's that can be exciting. I will say that there are moments where, there was one recently where Sam and Dean share a hug after, you know, we thought something bad had happened, and then they get back together. It's like, okay, I'm glad you're okay, kind of a thing. Which you will see, I think, in the next episode. Yeah, you get a bro hug in the next episode.
Yeah.
you know, we've had a few of those in the past, and a way to kind of make that unique or special to that moment, he and I we played this almost like we don't need to hug right here in this moment, but I'm gonna hug and then I'm gonna realize, okay, well, maybe I didn't need to hug there, and let's just get back to work as quick as possible. But it was that kind of like feeling and that struggle to find that compassion with each other that was written on the page, and it was fun for us to find a way to do that. So, yeah, I mean, there's little moments like that written all the time where I'm like, I don't know how to do that. But then, that's the great thing about working with somebody for so long, is you can figure out a way to do it, you find a way.
And he touched on two different options. One, we disagree, but we go with it. Two, we disagree and we challenge the writers. There's actually a third option, which is we disagree and decide to just change it and don't tell the writers. So by the time we figure out, it's too late. So I felt that with Alex this year.
There have been a lot of remarkably challenging days of filming this season for a variety of reasons. One was just a couple of months ago, we actually stopped filming because the rain was so heavy that literally we couldn't salvage like the cameras, and we couldn't keep the actors from being completely soaked in a matter of seconds. And we actually just stopped. Everybody was like, cover all the cameras, cover all the equipment, and find shelter. And you were not in that scene. You were, but you come in later. So you were in your trailer during that monsoon, and you were waiting. You're like, what is taking so long? Yeah, he was texting me. He was like, hey, is everything okay up there? I'm like, we're not filming, which I think is like one of the first times, maybe the second time in 13 years that we have stopped because of Mother Nature. And then there was another challenging day for me was the season finale. I won't give anything away, but what I had to endure for an entire shooting day was, we went 13, 14 hours that day. And it was 2 days. That's right, it was 2 full days. And the physicality of what I was having to do was tougher than I had to deal with in a long, long, long time. Now, why I'm bringing you asked me what our favorite part of the season was. We're done. One of my favorite things is overcoming challenges like that, not only as an individual, but as a collective group, and as a crew, and as people that can tackle. We were, again, you weren't there. Well, you just recently saw the whole catch Dean in the snow. So that was real snow that was not planned for, because when they scouted at the top of that mountain, they just liked the vistas. And then between prep and the filming, which was about 7 or 8 days, it put like 3 or 4 feet of snow up there. And so that was on top of the mountain in the snow for an entire day. And we were all frozen. They couldn't get the trucks up there, so we were all like gathered around like space heaters. Well, I wasn't, because I was on set. But again, this crew and the cast trudging through the snow, making this day work because they have to, and getting the kind of footage that we got. It's just, those are the things, those are the days, and those are the moments that I really like to hang my hat on, and that I'm proud of. And so those are the challenges that we endured and that we succeeded are some of my favorite moments of the season.
And my cousin, she couldn't be here today, but she wanted to know, it's from a while back.
It's from what?
A long time ago, sorry. she wanted to know in season 2, when John, just before he died, he asked Dean to kill Sam if Sam became a demon or something. She wanted to know Jensen. I've seen the show.
What?
So she wanted to know if Jensen, you knew at that point what the story was going to be for the rest of the season 2, season 3, or if you discovered at that point that Sam was going to
Get written off?
No, I did not. They don't, in fact, I usually don't read ahead, unless there's something specific that I need to like read ahead for, to start training for or whatever. But I generally wait almost until I'm finished filming the episode before I pick up the script for the next episode, which generally starts the next day. And it's just a way for me to keep everything chronological in my head. Because sometimes when I read ahead, I start thinking that the stuff that's happening in that script is going to happen in this script, so I start playing that stuff when I really shouldn't.
There are also great moments where, so we alternate assistant directors. One does evens, one does odds. So we'll be filming like day 7 of episode 9, and episode 10's assistant director will come and go through a breakdown of the shooting schedule. We're going to get Jared Jensen, so we're going to be in studio for 4 days, we're going to be out in Langley for 2 days, we're going to be in Langley for 1 day, we're going to be in Portland for another. Jensen, you know that scene where Dean comes in as Catch and Sam is actually the other room?
Yeah.
And he's doing this. So unfortunately that has to be on Friday night because David's availability. Yeah, but we're going to actually pick up the next scene where y'all go outside.
Yeah.
So we use the sugar band factory that we use sometimes.
For that one scene.
That's it, yeah.
I got it. And that makes more sense because of, what that scene has.
Yes, okay, cool. And then he'll walk away and...
Yeah. Meanwhile, I know Jared just sitting there going like this. But then I literally let that person walk away and I'll be like, all right, what scene was it talking about?
True story. Okay, so the story. This happened.
I've now started just telling Kevin, I'm like, dude, I haven't read it. He's like, okay, so in the big fight scene where you got this person and this person, so we're running into some technical. I'm like, Kevin, I don't know what you're talking about.
You also, God love Kevin Marks. You also tell him that every single episode. He comes back the next time, he's going like, okay, so you already read the script, you know that this, and you're like, Kevin, we've talked. Sorry.
I don't read ahead, it messes me up.
But even, I think, to kind of expound on kind of what he was saying, I don't think when season 2, episode 1 was filmed, that the writers knew where it was going. A lot of times they have a general idea, they have 5 or 6 general ideas, and they kind of go with the flow and go with what works, and honest to God, they pay attention to y'all guys to some degree. They pay attention to what we have to say and what seems to work. They'll have a great idea about this character that comes in, and they get along with the boys, and it's like a third brother, not Adam. They'll watch an episode or two and be like, okay, you know what? That's just not working. Or there's a girl that comes in, and I think they wanted to play, I don't think they wanted to play Soulless Sam for so long, but they were like, we dig this. And so they dragged it on. I don't think they wanted to play the Amelia story for so long, short. And they wanted to be longer, but it just didn't have what the story is based on. We didn't get back to Sam and Dean. So I think the writers are sort of bottoming the lead as well. They work their ass off every day, weekdays and weekends, and I'm grateful for that. But they work their ass off because they're paying attention. They don't just write a script and like, okay, finish it off. They kind of pay attention, like, okay, well, this isn't, let's massage this away, or let's massage this longer.
At the end of every season, there's generally a big cliffhanger. And I always ask our showrunner, I'll say, okay, how are we picking this up next season? And I've never received an answer that is different from, that's what we have 2.5 months to figure out. And they do. They write themselves this massive cliffhanger, and then they're like, okay, I guess we all got to put our heads together and figure out how to get out of it. So they're doing that right now. With the cliffhanger, the massive cliffhanger that you guys received.
they don't want a cliffhanger. But I feel like I kind of feel like everything worked out properly. And everything this must be one of those unicorns where everything works, because we're about to get to 300 and something episodes next year. And, you guys are with us, and some are coming along, and some have been here for the ride, and everything in between. So I think a lot of this has worked kind of by accident. I know that Jared, I'm going third person. I know that I almost lived parallel to Sam for a while, and had some struggles with the business, whether it was the family business or the acting business, and wanted out, like talk to lawyers about getting out without getting sued and stuff, and have my off-screen brother Jensen be like, dude, you got this, come on. Like, so there was a lot, and who knows if life gets art or vice versa. I don't want to make you cry. A lot of things happened. I sort of grew up with Sam, you know, and I'd already been around for a little bit, but I was still a kid. I was 22 or 23, and had a lot to learn. I'd never worked so hard in my life, and I was away from family, and I was kind of denying. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot. You know, they ask me, have y'all done this thing where you ask yourself a question, like if you could see 10 years in the future, would you? I've had this conversation with friends before, and my answer is always no. Like if I could see a glimpse of 10 years, 20 years in the future, I would say no.
I feel like you're saying a very similar thing to what my response is going to be, which is if I could talk to my season 1 self, I would say settle in. I would say settle in, not because it's going to be a long ride, but there were a number of years where, you know, he and I have had experience on relatively long-running shows, and we still know that every show gets axed. It's the odds of having a show go this long are, like, I don't even know. It's like winning the lottery. So we knew that this could be fleeting. We also were about to enter into a merge with the networks were merging, and a lot of shows were going to get cut, and we didn't know if we were going to be part of that collateral damage. And so I think for he and I, we were always kind of like, okay, this is where we are now, but let's keep our eyes on the horizon and make sure that we're ready for the next move, whatever that might be. And I never settled into a job because I was either guest starring, I was a reoccurring, I was a regular that didn't have really, you know, maybe didn't have good ratings, or maybe whatever it was. It was always like, I'd never been on a show longer than a season or two. And so I think if I had the opportunity to tell myself season 1, you know, hey, settle in and enjoy this now. Don't look around and see what's next or what else is out there or what you might be missing out on, because this is occupying you right now. Be present now and enjoy this, because this is going to be your next dozen or so years of your life, and you might as well start enjoying it now because it's very enjoyable. So I kind of feel like we missed out on a couple of years of just not being present totally.
Yeah. Being comfortable. I hear this, something occurred to me in the recent past, and you hear a lot of times life is short, you know, and I think that is a great mindset for a lot of people to live in the moment, appreciate the moment. For me, that gave me anxiety and probably made me do and feel a lot of things that weren't healthy for me. And so I started saying to myself, life is long, and for whatever reason, that's given me this mindset of like, be who you want to be remembered as. It's not about like, hey, hell with this and that because I could die tomorrow. It's like, hey, you know, hopefully you live for a while. Hopefully you have somebody you love. Hopefully you get to a place where you're comfortable. Like, live now the way you want to look back and say you've lived.
Yeah, somebody said people aren't going to remember the things you had planned. They're going to remember the things you've done.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Hello.
What is that?
I think there's another convention behind
Turn the blender off.
Vapors. There's a vaping convention.
What is that? Coffee factory? Coffee press?
Do you gotta do it yourself?
Is it do-it-yourself conference? I'm gonna go with.
Full belt sander and a skill saw.
I'm gonna go with Villa.
I'm gonna say Alistair.
Oh, yes. Yes. Alistair. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You don't like her.
Thanks for your question. However, I have a new prejudice against skill saws and happy factories. He's gonna go to Manchester. I hope your question wasn't for Jensen.
Actually, it's both for you. Hi, I'm Kim from Hungary for you guys.
Hi.
So,
I just ate, so I'm full. Yeah, I had to fly across the pond to get a semi-rim shot. Rim shot.
You should have seen the other person.
Still does that. Yes! 2 rim shots.
Stop saying that.
I wonder if relate into your everyday life.
Yeah, see, this is like
Just sidebar, I figured out what's going on. There's another convention going on next door. This is their load-in day. So they're building the stages and all this stuff. So it's a lot of power tools. And apparently they're shaping the stage.
So when we finish today, we're all going over there and we're gonna.
So you'll have to repeat your question.
Okay, I wonder if your character relates into your everyday life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Leaked, not licked.
She didn't say licked. She said leaked. No one heard licked but you.
The accents are
Not to anyone else. Yes. There have been moments where Dean has certainly not been licked, but leaked.
he licked on Jensen.
And I leaked back.
Harder and more manlier.
Stop it.
Understood. That's how you do it. That's right.
coming up on stage and Paris the Red Dot and singing very loud music. That's
trying to make people laugh too hard that way. Yeah.
Jensen would like to introduce you.
This is Anna.
Anos.
Anu.
Anna. Anna. Anna.
We were horrific, so as we do.
That's better than Anus.
Here, have a seat. So we invite the last question up on stage. Two people look to their supernatural family and say the question. I know, this is what we get to stare at, a lot of lights. So, what is your question?
I actually have a mic.
Oh, here, I'll just read it out loud.
Children on shoe. That's not a question.
My question was if your children ever expressed any interest on being or playing a small part in the show, and would you ever let them?
That's a great question. Yours?
Our children? No. No and no. One of the ways that Jared and I bridge the distance between our families a lot is video, FaceTime, video talking with our kids. And a lot of times this happens at work. And a lot of times at work, daddies have blood all over their face. And so when we do these video calls with our kids, sometimes I'll just show half of my face, one eye, or not at all. I'll just not show. But every now and again, I'll be like, hey JJ, look at Daddy's fun makeup, and I'll be like, it's just make believe. It's like Halloween, and she has several times expressed how gross it is and how she doesn't want to work where I work. So I'm more than happy to hear that.
That's a great idea. My kids have never expressed a specific entrance. So, I'm getting to the entrance part. But my oldest son, Tom, there's a baby picture of Tom. I don't know what the episode is, but he played like a cursed baby that I'm flicking through the files. I think he was young at the time, so it was after March 19th, 2012. But I was like, hey, if we're looking through these pictures of like babies, can I use my kids in one? Like, it doesn't even look like it now, but it might be fun trivia. And then there was a scene where we were entering into a haunted area of the house. Were you there also up the stairs with a flashlight? And Tom and Shep and Jen were there, and then I went up with Shep. So there was a scene where we were in a house, and Sam and Dean had their flashlights, and they're kind of going up the stair, and Jen and Tom and Shep were in the house watching it happen, watching like Daddy and Uncle Jensen, like very slowly Scooby-Doo walk up this stairwell, and then Shep was like, can I see? I was like, okay. And so the camera guys rolled the cameras, and Shep grabbed Uncle Jensen's flashlight, and he and I both like peeked up the stairs. He didn't know that we were playing pretend. He thought we were gonna go see something scary. So the problem is that as soon, there's this really cute like up the first 4 steps, and then as soon as we turned, the cameras were there, and so Shep's flashlight just went straight to the camera. So all you can see is like a white out of a flashlight. So they haven't expressed interest yet, and I would be hesitant again to shove them in the big play face staring on black holes. But we'll see someday. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much.